Tammy.
Hey,
Okay, so I have two questions for you.
all right.
Okay, it's for my world history class, and it's like just an interview about like national events you remember. And so the first
Yeah,
question is, what world or national events do you believe was most important in your life?
world or national event.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of our planet, taking care of the environment, but that's not exactly what you're asking.
Mm-mm.
Our government taking responsibility and passing laws that will protect the environment.
Yeah, it's more like, what do you remember? Like
Oh,
event.
is this from my when I was young or something?
Yeah, it's like since you're in a different generation, like what do you remember, like world events that like were most important to you?
Oh goodness, there were so many. I mean, Kennedy was assassinated. Martin Luther King was assassinated. Robert Kennedy, and those were traumatic events. And the Vietnam War,
Mhm.
they really affected everybody's life at that time.
Mhm. So if you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
Having the president of your country, assassinated in your lifetime, when you think that was something that would have happened in the 1700s, not not during the 60s.
Yeah.
That I guess that was big.
Okay. So the Kennedy assassination.
I would say so.
Alrighty. And then what connection do you have to that event? Like, were you a direct participant or like observer? Um, or like what do you remember from it, I guess? What was your experience?
Well, my experience was my oldest son was sitting in his high chair, and I was at the home of my parents because they were in Florida, and I was babysitting my younger brother and sister for a week, or maybe it was longer than that. And so my 18-month-old is sitting in his high chair, and I flicked the noon news on while I
Yeah.
feed him lunch, and they announced the president has just been shot. And I will tell you, Americans kept their TVs on 24 hours a day
Hmm.
to keep up with that. That's my memory, most traumatic memory of the whole thing. It's when I think most people remember where they were, when that happened.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Um, I guess that's it. So you were like an observer. Trying to think. Alrighty. Do you want to add anything else?
Well, does that answer your question? Is that what they're looking for?
Yeah. Yeah,
All
just an
right.
event that sticks out in your mind.
Well, actually, when you're my age, your granddad's age, there were so many
Yeah.
world-changing happenings as we came along because of the Vietnam War and the protest against the war, and the veterans coming back, people spitting on them and not welcoming them, and then of course we realized later that was very wrong, 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 and that they were heroes because they were drafted and they didn't have a choice. They went to the war not by choice. They were drafted and they had to go, and they
Yeah.
tried to be good soldiers and they came back. Americans treated them badly. It was a strange time in American history.
Yeah. Huh. Alright. I'll include that too. Awesome. Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. That was fun.
Yeah.